Hello, hello. Welcome to yet another episode in the Yard Connection with Kevin and Kiki and Nembz. We're here.
Right here, right now.
He's back.
Yeah.
I know you're in a good mood when you say that, then I know it's about to get lit.
Yep. Another interesting episode as usual. Just continue to, entertain and keep our listeners informed as usual. What I'm saying? It's really a pleasure to do that.
Yeah.
And likewise, just continue to follow us, continue to give us a love, continue to subscribe, continue to share. I just want to say thanks to all those who have been,
supporting
us and giving us a love. Yeah, we see you guys, we appreciate it. So today we're gonna be touching on another interesting topic, kind of like it's kind of out of our
family, parenting.
Yes, it covers so much, what I'm saying. This have to do with love, but in a different way today.
Definitely. It's about family. It's about and family. Guys, we are parents. So
yes, today is gonna be like, what we're gonna be talking about today.
We are talking about supporting your children. That's the topic today. Yes. Support your children. As a parent. You need to support your children. Be your child's first cheerleader. Be the main cheerleader. So that they look and then they think, oh, my mom supports me. Oh, my father supports me. That you know that if anybody else doesn't support you, but you have the support of your parents. That goes along. After that, you really don't care who else can support. But as long as you have the support from home, everything else
that family support is very important. What I'm saying. For me, myself, I remember growing up and most of my support was from my mom. I'm saying because the father figure wasn't there. I'm saying, but then my mom played the role in two ways, being the father and the mother. And trust and believe, I had such strong belief in everything my mom said. Trust and believe if I got a cut, and my mom says it's going to get better by tomorrow, I believe it. And it will get better tomorrow. Because they said believe, kill, and believe, cure. And trust and believe. So, I'm living testimony of that. I just want more people to start, giving their kids that support and stop treating them based on what you've been through or, judging them based on your ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Of what life should be.
Or you know what I'm saying? Because everyone is going to come with a different, life set. You know what I'm saying? So, if your kids, if your child or children, whatever it is, tend to take on a part of life itself, whether it be academically, spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you need to be there for them. Don't be telling them that
it's wrong.
It's wrong because you didn't you're not in this religion, so they shouldn't be in this religion. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has a mind of their own.
And everyone has a path that they need to go on.
So it's rare. It does happen, but it's rare where you find, say, for example, you find the mother is a teacher and the daughter now becomes a teacher because she's encouraged by it's based on the encouragement that mother is giving into the child. It's not done by force. You know what I'm saying? So you need to, if your child says you want to be a doctor,
let the child be a doctor.
Don't be telling him that, oh my God, do you think you can manage those bloods and see the blood and stuff like that? No, you need to start to encourage them.
Yeah.
And even at their lowest point where they keep failing, they keep failing maths, for example. You encourage them, say, you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
The power of your words again.
The power of your words again. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. You know what I'm saying? And not just by words. You need to support them physically too. Sit down with them, help them do the calculation, help them trying to figure out stuff. And instead of making decision for them,
let them make them their own decisions.
And then you encourage and you guide them.
Yes,
support
guiding,
you know I'm saying?
Definitely
guiding.
Which
is a very important thing for us parents. And for me, being a parent, I'm saying I strongly believe that we need to support our kids. I'm saying my the kids. Just like us, their ambition is going to change.
Yes, as they grow
older.
Yeah.
Then they get a different understanding of life itself. But starting from a young standpoint, our youngest our youngest said that, well, the girl said she wanted to be a nurse, and then the boy said he wanted to be a police. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Most people are just looking at it from just one standpoint. And I said, I know you, of course you can be a police. As a matter of fact, you can be the commissioner of police. You know what I'm saying? You encourage those highly favored opportunities into their life, and you encourage it. Don't be telling them that, no, you're going to get killed, or trust and believe. God has a time frame on your life itself. So your time of death and life
is already
set.
And no man can tell you that.
Yes.
And no one can change it. Except the men upstairs.
I mean, we don't accept a lot of, a lot of ways that life turns sometimes, but trust and believe, it's written. So you have no control over it. Man try to have control over so many things, but not life. Encourage kids. I mean, go to these PTA meetings, and
guys,
because
seriously,
you know what, kids love that feeling, of their kids your parents showing up.
Oh my
trust
God.
me, the feeling that they've got,
and the feeling you get as a parent when you see that smile.
Oh my God, I've proven that so many times. Remember the last time we went to our middle-aged daughter, the one that's 8-year-old.
Yes.
We went to her school.
Yes.
And the look on her face, when she saw us, the support that already that she was getting. I mean, she was performing, and trust and believe, you could see the light. She sparked more.
Yes.
I remember,
she started shining brighter the minute she saw us.
I remember with our eldest, which is now 15. I remember I didn't went to that one, but you went there and support on behalf of us when she was performing at the school.
Yes.
And the moment she saw you,
it was
and you were screaming, and the moment she saw you, that support alone gives her that feeling, that encouragement, that I can do it. I remember watching a video on I think it was on social media too, whereas there was I think it was a graduation ceremony, but it involved some kindergartens.
Okay.
And apparently they were supposed to do a song together, and this child in particular was on stage. And the moment she went on, she'd been crying before she even went on stage. And she just constantly cried. Even
was it because the parents were not there?
The teachers were trying to, hush her and, stuff like that. You know what the child wanted? The dad immediately walked on stage with her. We're talking about, she looked like she was about 4 years old. And the dad walked on stage with her and stand with her. Oh my God, she stopped crying instantly. She started singing the song instantly. It's like nothing happened. Wow. And you know what the dad did? The dad didn't walk away. The dad actually knows the song too. So simply mean that he's been supportive even from home.
So he knows
the song. He knows it.
Yeah.
He already started encouraging her. And oh my God, when she was finished, she was the happiest person alive. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen those little, especially with us dads, we miss out on so many opportunities in our kids' life.
That's true.
We leave all these roles onto the mothers, to do all these stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mothers, they have this connection with the kids already, which I understand. But for us men, we have a role to play too.
Yes.
And that's why
no one can replace a father figure in a child's life.
My God,
you can, I don't know what you can, you can be superwoman. That's why I have a problem with people saying to me, with people who used to say to single mothers when I was single, before I met you, because you told me I'm no longer a single mother the time I met you, so that was out the window. But before that, I used to be a single mother, right? And I made it very clear, and I would tell people, I would get offended, and I would tell them off. Do not tell me Happy Father's Day during don't tell me Happy Father's Day during Father's Day,
right?
Because I'm not a man, I'm not a father, and there is nothing.
And it's so sad that because you know what, most women go through this, whereas they have to play the both gender roles.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad, but and like always, because while the man can get up and run away, the women are always left with the kids for some reason.
Yes.
Whether from their babies or their, you know what I'm saying? Either way, females are mostly left with the kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's why for me personally, like, I wasn't raised with a father, but at the same time, you know what? I still love my father.
Yeah.
Not loving him for what he's doing in terms of his support, but loving him based on the fact that he's still my father.
And he's irreplaceable.
Exactly.
There's no one that can replace, whether it's a mother, biological mother, no one can replace. Because there are sometimes, mothers feel like when there is another mother that's coming to the picture to assist, or like in our current situation, I can never replace the kid's mother.
Yeah.
I can never be the biological mother.
But it's the same thing. I mean,
I'm a mother, yes, but there's that part where the child needs their mother.
I've learned from especially our relationship itself, where I've learned that, relationship that involves kids, it needs both parties.
Yeah,
involved. Yeah. Like I see myself as a super dad. Because I go all out for my kids.
You are,
but at the same time, there are some things that, for example, the girls. There are some things that the girls look at it. My eldest is more connected to me than you.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Look at it. The little ones now are more connected to you. Because you know what? Kids are smart in that sense, You see where they feel that comfort. It doesn't mean that they're not comfortable with you,
It's because you spoil. You know what? We're gonna have it. Let me not talk about this. We're gonna talk about this in another topic about men or fathers who spoil kids more than us mothers don't spoil our kids. You men, you spoil kids a lot. I will say don't do this, and then next minute you turn around, you give them something I say they shouldn't have.
It's not spoiling. It leads on to exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Supporting
them.
What? If I say you guys mustn't eat fried chicken because ABC, you're gonna go to a fried chicken place and be like, oh no, I'm just supporting my kid.
Exactly.
Hell no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just supporting.
That's not support. You're supporting. No, guys.
Well, you know what?
We're gonna have a topic about this. We're gonna discuss
it's okay. Like but from both parents' side though,
the children need the support.
You can tell definitely though, because with us, we've been both supportive of our kids, academically, emotionally, you name it. We've been supportive of them because
with our boy will come and say, "I need a hug, mommy.
Yes,
I need a hug."
That's how it has gotten. Like that's how comfortable they feel, and they know exactly the things to say and stuff. And we've been very supportive. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that actually works. People need to parents need to start being more supportive.
Pay attention to your children. Pay attention because children are also different. Yes, you might have 4 or 5 kids in the house, but each and every child is different.
Yes.
Some are very sensitive.
Yes.
Some are very emotional. Some are very strong. Some are fighters. So we need to pay attention to those things, and then exactly where your child needs more support.
Right.
Where your child it's
instead of you have a child, for example, that gets very emotional at times. Instead of running her to the side and telling her that she cries so much, how about supporting her in the sense of turning that negative into something positive to say, listen, baby, you don't need to cry so much. We're here. We're going to hug you. We support you. What are you crying for? This is what you're crying for? Because you can't take this up? No, you just, instead of crying, just try again. Encourage them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of bashing them, you're not going to turn out to nothing. Listen,
no, you see that?
These words, you see words. You see, as you always say, words are very powerful.
I'm very, when it comes to words, I get emotional when I hear someone using negative words on children.
Yes.
I don't like it. It just gets to me because I'm like, couldn't you just, when someone is just being mean to kids, I'm like, you shouldn't be that mean to children.
And the fact that kids are innocent, and then not every one of them is strong.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I remember growing up, I had so much pressure on me, that I don't know how I made it this far, but I did, because I my main support again was my mommy. You know what I'm saying? When persons used to be calling me names, my mother would tell me straight up, you don't need to listen to them. You're not that. I remember people used to tell me I had issues growing up, like, at first in the beginning, and person would tell that I wouldn't say walk fast enough, or I wouldn't talk. My mom was told all this stuff. You know what I'm saying, but then she knew exactly, how to be supportive. And trust and believe all those words were speaking into existence.
Exactly.
And you're looking at one of her She said I'm bossy, but one of her, I'm her main man.
Same with our eldest daughter. I remember when she was young, it took her long to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And people around me were all like, no, she's never going to talk. She's never going to talk. No, why is she not talking? She's supposed to be talking by now.
It must
and
be a
this
reason.
and that. And I got all this pressure and all these negative things. Funny enough, they were coming from people who are close to me, family
members,
neighbors.
Yes, it's the same thing.
And you'd be like, no, she's supposed to be talking by now. What is she? And I'll be like, she's speaking a language that I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's funny because she would say something and I would understand what she's saying, but no one else can understand.
You're a peer.
So we find that we're in like family gatherings, like maybe Christmas time or whatever, and they're trying to talk to her about something, and they don't understand what she's saying, and then they'll be like, "Oh, call the mother. The mother will understand what she's saying." And I would always understand what she's saying.
I had the same problem. I remember with our son growing up.
Mm-hmm.
At first he used to just talk gibberish,
and
that's what most people thought it was.
He was like that.
I know what the funny thing is. It was way long after I've learned, because with these kids now it's different. Way after I learned that the child is actually speaking a different language.
Yeah.
But I, for example, because when you spend time with your kids, and obviously you know them, so even though they're saying certain things, I know exactly what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So look at it, or
there's that bond you have with your son.
Or son is what, 5 years old, and he's speaking Spanish.
What? That boy, you can't touch him. He speaks Spanish.
And he's good like that.
And he's always asking me questions like, "Mommy, do you know what this is in Spanish?"
Yes.
I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, oh, this is it, and he will tell me.
So so that's what I'm telling you. You just and even with him, it's the same thing. He went through practical. Just that these kids now, you know what? We have easing so much pressure from this generation now compared to what we used to go through as kids. Because back then when we were growing up, we were around too many aunties, uncles.
Who also didn't know better.
Yes.
If you look at it that way, they only knew one life.
Right.
And that one life was how they were treated when they were young. And that way, no one was there to actually put a stop to it and break that cycle and say, no, this is not how you should. We are the generation that has been exposed to a lot of things.
Yes.
That has been exposed to learning, more education. We are not as ignorant.
In different forms. Right,
yes.
Right.
So we know if somebody says something negative, to say, I am not that, or you are not going to speak to me like that.
Right.
I am this person, and you're not going to tell me that I'm nothing.
Right,
you're not going to tell me that I'm useless.
Yes.
You're not going to tell me that I'm foolish. All those things. But then when they were growing up, they were probably use those words because hurt people hurt people.
Right. Yeah,
so when they were growing up, probably those are the words that they were exposed to.
Yes.
So they think it's okay to.
And they weren't getting the support that
they were not getting the support because back then, obviously.
look at the support that's there for our generation. Like most kids now. Speaking from our perspective, our kids get a full support in practically every year that they need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just believe that we do that because parenting is a job. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay attention. Like I said, I remember growing up, and like you said, it's like they didn't know better. Some aunties would hear, for example, a baby crying, and the first thing would come out of their mouth is, that baby cried too much. the baby must be crying for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's either the baby's uncomfortable, it's either the baby. There must be something.
Well, there must be something.
You know what I'm saying? So instead of you trying to figure out exactly as to what's wrong with the baby, no, you just gotta get ignorant and use ignorance on them. You know what I'm saying? Parenting is very
it's hard work.
Yes, and you know what? You have to have patience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not a patient person, you have to work on that. In terms of, so you can provide the right and proper support for your child. Like you said, you know what, it's the whole single parent thing. A lot of parents, especially the single parent, they undergo a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because like Because they have to be making all these decisions by themselves,
and they have to be explaining to the child why they cannot. My God!
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where some other friends or family member comes in and say, no, don't give him this, don't give him that. Like,
no,
and that's why I'm so happy that our kids have, the best of both worlds.
Yes.
And I just ask God to continue to give us health and strength, so that we can be there to see them at least go past the worst.
Yes.
Speak that into existence. You know what I'm saying? So because it will be there for sure. You know what I'm saying? So
no, guys, support your children, really, seriously, from a very young age, and we need to do that from the beginning, from the child, when the child is young, because as they grow older, they have those memories in their head. As you can hear now, Kevin is talking about how his mom was so supportive when he was. Now, can you imagine if his mom was not supportive? He will remember that my mom never supported me when I was young. My mom, I had my issues with mom. But it wasn't when I was when I was a child, as in a babe. No. Mommy is number one. Mommy is the queen. They always go all out for us. I think mothers are all the same in a way when it comes to their children, whether they have or they don't have. Mommies always go all out, and my mom was also one of those. But the thing is, it was when it was time for school.
Right.
As in higher education.
Level of education.
Yes. Where there's something that I really wanted to do. And at that time, I also wanted to travel. It was giving me an opportunity to travel. I remember to the UK. And mommy turned me down and told me that I can't do it because I needed her signature.
Right. Just to give it a green light.
I need a parent signature to give me the green light to go ahead and travel. It was a school-related thing. Everything was above board.
Right.
It wasn't, where you would think, and she knew that everything was above board. It wasn't something like where parents worry nowadays, where you're like, okay, child trafficking and stuff like that. It wasn't that. It was legit.
Right.
Because schools were involved. So she knew that, and she was like, no, you can't. And even my dad, it was the same thing. And we're also going to talk about this thing one day, where why is it that mothers will promise you that they're not going to say something, and then they end up telling the father they promise that they're not going to tell the father if you mess up. All those things. We're going to have those discussions. That pillow talk between your parents. I don't like that, even though now I do it. Yeah, so those are the things that I think back now, and I'm like, you know what? I know I even talk to my brother sometimes, and I'm like, if I had gotten that opportunity, I'll be far by now. I would really be far by now, but I guess it wasn't meant to be because. But I still. I'm still holding on to that. Right. I'm still holding on to that and say, what? That was an opportunity for me to better myself. And my future. I'm still young then, but still.
Well, you know what? It happened, and we have regrets and stuff like that. But the end of the day is that you see, again, look at you now. It's so funny that I've seen it so many times. I know this particular this story about this, which is actually a true story, which involves a man. He worked all his way up until he was like in his 80s. Retired at probably 60 or whatever it is. And this guy went through so much in life itself. Know what I'm saying? And that he didn't find success until he was like 85.
Wow.
He just found success like that. It's a big company too now. And the funny thing is that he didn't even get to enjoy most of that. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's old now.
Yes, because he spent most of his life going through some of the stuff that you went through.
Yeah.
Instead of not getting the opportunity and stuff, not getting the support. And he went through all of that. And by the time he found himself in whatever way he did, it wasn't say too late because at least he got the experience, but he didn't get to even enjoy it.
Yeah.
His kids are probably the one enjoying it.
Yes, the fruits of his labor.
Which I hope they appreciate. But it just goes to show where you are now in life. For example, look at us now. It's a support. as much as we remember those bad little memories, but we still have that good one from mommy to say,
yes,
this
the foundation. The foundation love is there. Your mother got your back, and mommy will support you throughout.
Go to your son's soccer match.
Yes,
go
guys.
Support, your daughter in tennis, swimming. Go to these little and
when they fall, help them up. Give them motivation, motivate them. Let's be parents, guys. Let's be parents more than anything, because whatever we lay down right now into our children's foundation is what they're gonna grow up knowing, is what they're gonna grow up with. So if you are a parent that is not supportive of their children, even when we grow older, even now we need support from our parents. Still,
as old as we are
old, but we need your support. Yes, we've got our minds now, we can stand on our own 2 feet, but at the same time, it's not nice knowing that you're not getting support for the choices you've made, for the decisions you've made, for anything that you want to do. That, okay, there's no way I can go to my father with this, or there's no way I can go to my mother with this, because he or she doesn't approve of this. That hurts.
You need to give them that, you need support, and that's the bottom line. Because look at me, for example, in my family, my mom would allow us to go and try life itself based on life experiences. If it means moving out, or if it means doing something that exploring, traveling. Because at the end of the day, bear in mind, from our perspective, most families are messed up in that way. But if we go out there, we falter then, right? She knows that she's there for us to fall on. It doesn't mean that we're taking advantage of someone or whatever it is. But she's just trying to show us that, you see, with life itself, because that's all they can do. They can just give us the support.
Yes.
Their support doesn't determine how we ended up in life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they're giving us the support simply mean that, if we try something and it didn't work, we can try something different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all. Like, for example, when we were growing up, how many times my ambition changed as to what I wanted to be.
Our kids are doing the same thing right now.
Our kids are doing the same thing. And
when they reach teen.
Exactly. And it just come right down to be
They won't be talking about being cops. They won't be talking about firefighting. They won't be talking about nurse med.
And maybe they still talk about it. But just saying. But the mere fact is that, you just need to be supportive.
Yes, because right now we are supporting them. They want to be in medicine. We are supporting them. Next year, if one of them works, with the boy, he wanted to be a doctor.
Right.
Then within 2 weeks, he changed. He was he wants to be a firefighter.
Funny enough, he's been holding out this cop thing for the longest while.
Yes, and then next minute he does, I want to be a cop. So he's now a cop.
And the funny thing is, he explained exactly as to why he wants to be a cop. You know what I'm saying? And I support you. It all comes down to, like I said, being supportive, of certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? So
thank you so much for joining us, guys.
That's just what it is. So I mean, likewise, it's just been a pleasure, being with you guys again today, and all. I just.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you for the support.
Yes, you can follow us on social media. Our social media pages, Instagram and Facebook, is at Yard Connection Podcast, and on Twitter we are at Yard Connection. Thank you so much for joining us once again for yet another exciting episode. We hope you will catch us again next time. From myself, Kiki Nembz, and
Kevin Nembz.
We out.
Support your kids.
Support your kids.
Peace. Ciao.